And we've in this month of April, we've been looking at a theme on suffering and what causes suffering, according to Chinese philosophy or Buddhism, because Yin is related to Chinese philosophy, Chinese style of yoga. Okay, so I'll be reading a little paragraph from this book written by Bernie Clark to introduce the topic, which we have already started, but we're bringing a little new something every week. So we'll bring that, introduce that in our first posture, which we'll get to now. So we're going to start on our spines. Now you might want to lift with one block, or if you prefer using something a bit softer, you might want to use the roll. So have it handy. Think about what you might want to use. You might even just use a blanket rolled up. So feet on the mat, and then we'll roll the spine down. Or come down whatever way works for you. Just allowing the lower back to settle. Just letting go of the shoulders, the rib cage, the back body. Feeling the feet on the mat. We're going to press into the feet and then bring whatever it is you want to use, maybe the block or the roll, under the tailbone. Press into the feet to lift the hips. And then bring that block under the tailbone. So just where the buttocks separate, yeah. You feel the lowest part of the spine. And then let the pelvis feel really heavy and grounded on that block. It's good to try things, yeah, good. Okay. Just letting go around the lower back, around the hips. This pelvis, the bone that holds these organs, these special organs within our body, letting it rest fully, let it be supported on the block. And if you wish to open the front of the hips, you can start to extend the legs down the mat so that your feet eventually come on to their heels. For some people, this is not so comfortable. You can move the heels slowly down the mat, and if it feels nice, stay there. If you feel any pinching or extra discomfort in the lower back, bring the feet back onto the mat. That's it. Wonderful. So know that the first part, the first stage of our class will be about finding comfort in our posture, in our shape. Finding comfort. Yes, a posture that you feel something in. You're feeling and noticing in the body, but not pain. And then the second stage is where we start to then focus on our breath. Now in Yin, we breathe in the belly. We inhale and expand like the belly is a balloon, and we're blowing up the belly as we inhale. And as we exhale, we let that balloon soften, let the belly sink. So really focusing on the navel and expanding in this area, not the chest. And exhaling, just letting the belly soften. And then once we've got this breath going, breathing into the belly and then relaxing in the belly, we then try and find stillness. And we're going to stay here until I've finished this paragraph now that I'm going to read, written by Bernie Clark, on the second of Noble Truths, written by Buddha, the cause of suffering. So in the last few weeks, we've been looking at attachment to spiritual practice or a routine, attachment to grasping certain views, attachment to the self, the ego, a grasping to pleasure. So today, aversion, so avoiding things that we do not like. Aversion is the flip side of clinging to pleasure. It is natural for animals to seek that which feels good and avoid that which feels bad. Natural, but not necessarily the best strategy if your goal is true happiness. The pleasure of this moment may not lead to sustained pleasure in the future. We must rely upon a deeper intelligence to guide us. Is the pleasure of that extra dessert really going to make you truly happy? Especially when you succumb to that temptation every night and eventually develop diabetes or heart problems. Oh, these are small, short-term pleasures that cause us a great deal of delayed pain and suffering. Okay, so you might want to consider setting yourself a little intention, maybe to practice and notice as you practice your yin yoga today. What is it that you avoid? What is it that brings up a dislike to postures or transitions or movement? Okay. So we're going to inhale to bring the feet back onto the mat. And then press into the feet to lift up the hips and slide away whatever support you had under the hips. And then return the hips very gently, very calmly, and let go of the lower back. Okay. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, soften the belly. Inhale, pick up the feet towards the ceiling. Nice soft legs, we don't have to overstretch yet. And then exhale to hug the knees towards the chest, the thighs over the belly, and maybe interlace the hands, the fingers around the front of the legs. Give yourself a squeeze for 3 breaths. Inhale into the belly, which is a little bit difficult with the legs there. Exhale, squeeze those legs even closer. Inhale, press the belly out. Exhale, squeeze as you soften into the belly. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Now we're going to roll over to one side. And we're going to come up into a seated position. Now, together we're going to really establish this belly breath. An easy seated position, whatever works for you, cross-legged or heels down the center. You could even sit on a block. Now, let's find that belly breath. We can bring the hand here, or both hands. We inhale and press out and watch the fingers slightly spread or the hand move forward. Exhale, soften and draw in just a little to a natural state, not too hard. Inhale, expand. Exhale, soften. Inhale, expand. Exhale, soften. 2 more. Inhale, expand. Maybe even release a hand now. Exhale, soften. Last one. Inhale, expand. Exhale and soften. Wonderful. So this is where we want to keep the breath, the movement of the breath. Also in Yin, we try not to hold and grasp with our hands. So we tend to have the palms upwards, which gives us that letting go sensation. We're going to come into our next pose now, child pose. So the knees can be apart as much as you wish. You can use a block to fill in the gap here, or set the heels back towards the heels, and then come down to forearms. Maybe rest the head. You could use the blocks, you can use your fists, you can use your hands, your forearms, whatever you wish. To let the head drop and find child pose. Okay, so once you've found your comfortable child pose, which will look different, slightly different for everybody, then we focus on the breath, inhaling into the belly. And with that exhalation, let go of the breath. Let it out through the nose, nice and smooth and soft. And let go of the body. Inhale into the belly. Notice if you're holding onto anything as you start to exhale. Work through the holding and the tightness. Let the breath work through that area as if it's floating or melting that tension away. We'll take 2 more breaths in our child pose. And then we're going to come upright in the torso. Walk the hands back, rolling the lower spine, the mid spine, rolling up to the shoulder blades. Open up the front shoulders. There we go. And we'll bring the seat down. Swing those feet forward and let the soles meet. So options here. This is our butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together. Maybe the big toes separate, whatever works for you. You could even, if you want to work a little deeper, bring a block between the soles, or bring the feet onto a block. Okay, another option is that you can stay sitting up tall, or you can hinge at the hips and fold this upper body over the lower body. Okay, so finding what might work for you, and you can always change, just explore it a little. We're going to be here for 2 minutes in butterfly. So finding your butterfly pose. And then we go to the breath. Inhaling into the belly. Now noticing where tension might be hiding now. And exhale it away. Maybe then, as you can find stillness here, more and more. That breath focus. Maybe we can start to contemplate on what it is that we avoid in this posture. Is there anything that we are avoiding? Is there anything that we're grasping? Are we allowing the breath to guide us and lead us to softness? We're going to take 2 more breaths in our butterfly pose. Just breathing away any tight tension. And then we'll roll up through the spine, from the lower spine, stacking the mid-spine, and stacking the upper spine, the cervical spine, and opening up those shoulders. Bring the hands to the outer edges of the legs and knees to close them up together. Take away the block to one side. Okay. I think they save all the noisy traffic for relaxation on Wednesday. Okay. Let's bring the seat to the center of the mat and come back onto the spine. So we're going to do a lying down tree shape. So let's extend both legs down the mat. Bring the legs towards each other. Let the feet meet. Sorry, extended legs, just touching the toes together. That's it. Okay. Then with the inhalation, we're going to activate the right foot, the right leg. Slide the right sole up inside the left leg, as far up as that right foot will come, up the inside of the left leg. And then let go of the right hip, right leg. Let it rest, let it be soft. Let it just hang out there. And this is our pose. And then we return to the breath in the belly. Expanding, exhaling. So when we expand in the belly, we're giving all our digestive organs space. And when we contract slightly, we're gently massaging them. Inhaling to expand. Exhaling to gently massage these organs. And the digestive area does a lot of work to help us release those things that we no longer need. And exhaling to soften. Let go of any holding around the right hip, around the right leg, in the entire body. You'll be holding this shape for 2 minutes on each side. Just 2 more breaths in this on this side. And then we'll slide that right foot all the way back down to meet the left foot. Take a breath. And then switch. The left sole left foot activates, and the left sole slides up the inside of the right leg as far up as it can go. And then we let it relax here. Just let it go. Notice if you're holding. Use your breath. Exhale away any holding, any tension. And if sometimes it helps practitioners to visualize in the mind's eye something that floats or flows nice and gently. I like to imagine waves coming into shore as you inhale. And as you exhale, the waves roll out of the shore, taking away the tension, the tightness, helping your body to soften, let go of anything that no longer is of use. What is it that I am still clinging to, holding on to? What is it that I dislike about this posture and avoid? Going to take 2 more breaths. Okay, and then we return the left foot all the way back down to meet the right. So hopefully you still have those blocks at hand. We're going to come into a supported bridge shape now. So bringing the feet back onto the mat, knees up to the ceiling. We're going to press into those feet again and bring the block back under the tailbone. So we're not going to extend into the legs. We're going to keep the legs here. So you could, if you wish, turn the block, lift the hips even higher, turn the block onto the side edge, and then place the hips on the side edge. So we're supported here, but with a little bit more feeling and sensation in the front of the hips. If it's not for you, you can turn the block back onto the lower level and just stay there. Supported bridge. Find your comfortable supported bridge and then return to the breath. Return to any image that helps you to focus on that smooth inhalation. And exhale to let go. Feel that pelvis supported, heavier. I'm going to be here for another minute. Just noticing. Ensuring the breath is in the belly. Inhaling, expanding into the navel. Exhaling, softening. Just 2 more breaths now. Okay, then pressing once again into the feet to lift your hips up higher than the block to take out the block to one side. Keep that bridge and start to roll from the top of the spine to the mid-spine and then to the lower spine. Then relax the pelvis completely. Just taking a breath. Okay. We're going to roll again to one side to come back up onto your seat and then make our way to all fours position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Okay, we're going to find our way to downward dog, tucking the toes. Draw the navel up a little so the spine curves a little. Then press down into the hands and the toes to lift up the knees, lift up the seat, the tailbone, upwards towards the ceiling. And then take a breath here. Inhaling into the belly. Exhaling, softening into the belly. Then we're going to take our right leg, pick it up, and bring that right knee towards the right wrist. So the right foot goes across the mat towards the left. Right knee towards the right wrist. And the foot goes across the mat. Sorry, did I say the knee goes across? Sometimes my words don't match what I'm thinking. So the right knee to the right wrist, right foot goes to cross to the left. It's all these crossings. Yeah. Okay. Have we got that? Right knee to the right wrist. Right foot is going across the mat towards the left. That's it. Okay. Then bring the left knee down behind you. And spread those toes out to the back so that we're on the top of the foot now. Yeah, spread the toes, point the toes back. The left leg, if you look behind you, should be in line with your left hip. And the toes should be pointing directly behind us, not turning in or out. Yeah? Okay. So we're heading for a sleeping swan position. Is everybody okay with this on their knees? Yeah? You okay? Okay. So sleeping swan, you can take a block, you can take a blanket in front of you, or just come down to forearms. How is this? Yeah, okay here. Now let the hips relax, let the front of the pelvis drop forward. You might feel a little bit more weight shifting into the front of the left leg, rolling slightly to the left. We keep the right hip lifted as much as the left. You're okay there. You could always take a yeah, okay. You can take a bolster if you wish on the pelvis. Okay. Right, so if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can open the elbows wide and maybe bring the forehead all the way down to the back of your hands, if that feels nice. Allowing the hips to drop towards the ground. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to be here for 2 minutes. Sometimes it's a fairly deep stretch once we find it. Wonderful. That's it. Are you okay? Comfortable? Yeah. Sometimes it helps to bring a little support here. Oh, that's easy. Yeah. Going back to your breath. Inhaling. Exhale. Notice how the body wants to drop. If we allow it. Melting downwards. Inhaling into the belly. Exhale, let everything feel heavier and heavier. Feeling the spreading, the lengthening around the hips. We've got 2 more breaths. Letting go more and more. And then we're going to come back onto our hands. You like that one? I like that one. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and then press into the hands to lift that right foot all the way back into downward dog. Yeah, you got little obstacles there. Okay, just taking a breath. And then we'll switch sides. Pick up the left leg. We know where we're going now. Left knee to the left wrist. Left foot across the mat to the right. Slide the right toes back to bring the right knee down. Point those toes directly back. And keeping that right leg in line behind you. So the left knee to the left wrist. Left knee, left wrist. That's it. Sorry. That's okay. It's okay. There's a lot of instructions. Don't worry. Okay, take any sort of support you need under the hips. And then we'll take that exhalation and fold and melt down towards the mat. Keep staying on the forearms if that's good for you. You can even build a little tower of fists, one fist on the other to rest the forehead, or come all the way down to the back of the hands. And send a little bit more weight into the front of that right leg, right hip, and then settling for 2 minutes. Letting the breath guide you. Maybe noticing tension and letting the wave of the exhalation wash away, clean away anything that's holding you from softening, from letting go. Sometimes where information tells us to hold on, to grasp and grab what you can. Sometimes we take and hold on to too much and we get overwhelmed. Allowing our bodies to let go and choose what is no longer helpful. We can make space. Space is freedom to move. Two more breaths. And then returning back to the hands, tucking the back toes, picking up that back knee, and then press down to lift up the hips and bring the left foot back. And walk it out. So you feel the difference now. Walk it out. Okay. Inhale to bring the knees gently back down to the mat. Exhale to a child pose. Nice, easy child. Take a couple of breaths here, just letting the hips drop back towards the heels and the head hang down. Okay, and then we'll take another pose. It's called caterpillar. We need to walk the hands back, come up through the torso, upright, and then bring the seat down. Those legs come forward. Okay, so we're going to curl into a caterpillar shape now. Let's thread our forearms under the legs. And we're going to slide one heel, the other heel forward. But we need to keep this belly connected to the thighs, and thus we hold ourselves close with our arms. Go as far forward with those heels as you can without breaking this connections. Curled up position, yeah. And then let the head go. Let the feet go, let the toes rest. Let the ankles feel comfortable. Let everything soften like a caterpillar. Nice and soft and all curled up. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Still breathing into the belly, even though it feels restricted. Here we are massaging against the legs. So we have gone through 1 minute. If you want to deepen it, just extend the legs a little bit more down the mat. You could even take the arms out from underneath and just let the palms rest, back of the hands rest. And the legs might relax, open a little more. That's it. Feeling into the back of the legs, but keeping the belly connected to the thighs. Let go around the shoulders, around the neck. Let the head feel like a heavy weight. Two more breaths in our caterpillar pose. And then start to roll up through the spine. So we always start with the lower spine, like roll it back. Roll the middle of the back over the lower back. And then the upper back. Open up the shoulders. Wonderful. Okay, so the next pose, just hold for 1 minute on each side. It's a shoelace pose. We're going to take either half shoelace, left leg straight, guide that right knee across over the left knee. Now, if that's not quite happening, you can bring the left foot over the right leg. So go as far as you can. But if that's not comfortable, then take the option of the left foot onto the mat. Okay, so another option to go a little bit deeper if you wish, bending that front leg at the knee. You can fold it back. And the knees are trying to relax down. So if the right knee then is pointing up, try sitting on a block, and that will allow the right knee to drop a little. So we want the knees to drop. Okay. So that's a wonderful version. That's it, yes. So in Hatha, this is cow face legs. In Yin, this is shoelace. Really lovely for tight hips. So just 1 minute on each side. Keeping the palms open, trying not to hold. You could even fold the torso over the legs, and the weight, the natural weight, will assist gravity to draw your legs down towards the earth. Just 2 more breaths. And then we're going to roll up through the spine if we were folded. And we'll switch legs. So uncrossing, extending both legs, nice and easy. Okay, so now it's the left knee. So keeping that right leg straight, or with swapping legs. If you, I don't think I specified which leg, and maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So switch legs now. Easy to forget. Okay, pick up the left knee and cross it over the right. And then if you wish to bend into that front leg, the right leg, fold it back towards the left hip. Again, if the knees seem to be holding tension and pointing up, then sit on a block and they may relax down towards the mat. Okay. Finding a fold over the legs if you wish, or sitting up tall. Focus on the breath. The breath will help you notice any tension. Exhaling will help you to release, work through the tension. Allowing the head to be like a heavy weight. And just 2 more breaths. Start to roll up through the spine. Open up the front shoulders. And slowly untwist those legs. Extend them down the mat. And just give them a tap, tap, tap. Out. Okay. We're going to come onto our spines. So if you wish to take a blanket for a pillow for Shavasana, go ahead for your relaxation. You might want to take one blanket over your body. Time for relaxation. I'll switch off the lights at the back of the room. You have eye cushions, little pillows for the eyes if you want to cover them. You can take the roll under the knees, which is very softening and careful on your back if you have back issues. Yeah. We'll have 5 minutes of just releasing completely. We'll just do a little scan of the body once we have found our comfortable Shavasana. So just noticing both sides of the body, just entire right side, entire left side, and just notice if the weight is equal both sides. Find balance in the feet, in both legs, in both sides of your hips, in both hands. Both shoulders equally weighted. And then the ears and the skull anchored at the base of the skull. The eyes are very gently closed. And then begin to notice your breath once again. Notice the texture of the breath, the rhythm of the breath, the size of the breath, and its journey in through the nose and gently out of the nose. Feel it traveling into the nostrils and out of the nostrils. Even noticing the balance of the inhalation with the exhalation. Taking our minds away from the outer body, from this container, just for a while, to go and journey inwards. Noticing and sensing anything going on inside, the rhythm of the breath, the way it expands and contracts the organs in the body, the way it encourages circulation and brings a rhythm, a beat to our heart center. Maybe while we focus on our inner being, our inner self, just for a few more moments, noticing how the mind activity is lessening, the thoughts lessening. Maybe here we can contemplate on what it is that causes us suffering. What is it that we try to hold on to? What is it that we try and avoid? Notice and pay attention to any responses that come up. Now slowly, as you take a slightly deeper inhalation, notice the edges of your body, surrounding edges, all the skin, the shape of your body. Notice sensations touching, temperature. Maybe you sense a light. Maybe you sense any discomfort or anything new. Just being aware of the body container once again. Inhale a little deeper. Start to bring a little bit more life back to the body, a little bit more energy through the breath. Slowly find some movement in the toes. Start to move the toes and into the feet. Start to move the fingers into the hands. Take any sort of movement that helps you to wake up into your entire body. Maybe a stretch, maybe a wiggle. Maybe wrapping those arms around you and giving yourself a loving hug. Whatever it is, take a moment. Keeping the eyes closed at the moment. We're going to bring the feet onto the mat now. And then bring those knees to hug into the chest. Thighs squeeze over the front of the body. Squeeze and close. Pressing all that's in between the legs and the lower back of the back body, all the organs squeezing and tight. Maybe sway side to side a little, this way and that way. Then roll over onto your left side. Let the whole of your body rest on its left side. Let the feet relax. Let the hands and the arms relax. Making sure all our sensations, our senses are switching on. Begin to blink the eyes open, adjusting to the dark or the dim in the room, and then come up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine. Let's bring the hands down by the hips. And we're going to take those palms and gather up the energy all around us. Send some out there to the universe, maybe to someone you know who needs it. Bring some to yourself, to your mind for pure thoughts, to your mouth for kind words, to your heart for compassionate actions. Namaste, everyone.